big-headed, over-egoed advice. Speak with Dan.
The thing is, he didn't even argue it.
No, he went. Oh yeah, the stats say themselves, don't they? The numbers speak. Like, yeah, the numbers also say you're a fucking idiot. You're a flipping twit.
Flipping twit.
Oh, that is my new favourite saying. That.
And it's stream friendly.
Flipping twit. Evening, PN.
Evening. Yeah, I don't join parties with kids in them. Fuck that.
Yeah, he's a bit. He's a bit.
Do my head in.
He is quite funny, to be fair.
He put in yesterday about having a chat for the drivers. And Mike went, "Oh, Matt can add you to it." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, cheers."
Okay then. It's getting wetter.
Yeah, the problem is though, we have that hour. The hour of qualifying at 11 may change it.
Oh, there's a backwards ray! Brilliant! I love it! Let's clip that.
Did you see the event scheduled for Saturday, PN?
I did.
Yeah. Around the Christmas golf course.
I did.
Dan's Christmas Miracle.
Yep.
I haven't signed up to that yet. You'll have to show me after, Matt.
Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, we'll do, mate. We've got to get Dan to download it. Basically,
Can we play one tonight?
We could possibly play around tonight. Yeah. Basically, you don't play with each other on the community, Joe. You play the 18 holes on your own, but the scoreboard updates against the other people because you can only have up to 4 players in one game.
Yeah.
So basically, we could have 20 people playing in this community thing. But as you play each hole, the scoreboard will then update to what the other players have done through them holes. So you're still competing against each other, if you get me.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
So
you get someone who blasts through all 18 holes in one go, though, wouldn't you?
Well, it is 1 round. It's not 4 rounds. So I think you get 1 day. So from Saturday to Sunday, I think you get, and you can play it at any time. You ain't got to play it when the others are on. And then bosh. Right, can we get 8 winners in 8 races tonight?
Has Jay won a race yet?
Jay's won a race. Jay's won a race. Sharkbait's won a race. Ben's won a race. Emo's won a race. CV hasn't because he's new. So, and he's not far off the pace in these wet conditions.
Daz and Jay in my chat say, "Oh, you're in for a kicking from us with golf."
Fucking get on it. Oh, if you've downloaded it, lads, get in the SimPlay Motorsport on the golf communities. Get on it.
On Saturday, 18-holer.
18-hole. Dan's Christmas Miracle. Be there or be square. Change to the highlights.
Did you hear Dan actually say something about Christmas in the party earlier?
Yeah, because your granddad sent me and him a countdown thing that says how many days left till Christmas.
It's like 100 and something, isn't it?
100 and some odd days, yeah.
I haven't eaten yet, but fuck it.
Main chat.
Yeah, get in the SimPlay chat, you bastards.
Who is it?
Daz.
Yeah, get a fucking SimPlay stream. Doing over there. Wrong place.
I'm doing a Matt. I'm typing in caps.
Oh, do you know at times? Do you know because of editing today? I've typed a lot in caps. These last 2 days, I've just done non-stop editing. I'm halfway through Pro Am's highlights. I've just got pros tables and pros highlights to do, and then I'm done. Which I'm actually surprised I've got how much I've got done quickly as well because of other stuff I had to do at home.
Invoke the druids. Constant velocity joint.
We've had a new team been formed.
Have we?
Although they won't be scoring points this season for the team game. Hypertech has been in Noza and Hypertech have been in contact with each other. Noza messaged him and basically said, "Look."
Hypertech messaged me about forming a team. I go, "Well, I'm with. I haven't got no Am next season. Voluntary. Well, I will run on my own."
No, get in a team. Get in a team.
Well, they have to either drive a Jag, a Ferrari.
Well, they can drive what they want, can't they? Really, end of the day.
It has to be green.
That's fine. Don't team with Dean then.
No, I won't team with Dean anyway. He's not reliable enough, and he's a missile.
Actually, nah, Matt, I'd rather play FIFA tonight, to be honest.
Yes, fine, mate. I'll be doing SimGrid straight away, so I can then just tomorrow morning wake up and edit, finish Pro Am Pro, and get Pro done before tomorrow night stream.
Not FIFA PS5 version, FIFA PS4.
No, the PS4, yeah, I know what you meant.
Might not make tomorrow because Dad's got to have more blood tests.
Yeah, no, isn't it? You're down as tentative anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, he had some yesterday, and he's got to have more tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Can that dog shut the fuck up for 5 minutes?
For what, the golf? Don't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm in the community on the PS4 version. I downloaded it earlier.
Matt, when we going live?
I'll tell you in a minute. We're going live very shortly. Five, 4, 3. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport here for tonight's action. It's going to be absolutely fantastic to see the drivers around this Silverstone. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do that again because for some reason it's not working on my end. Right. 5, 4. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport here for round 8 of the season. We are here. It is Silverstone, back on British soil, and it's fantastic British weather to go with it once again as well. It's great to be back in Great Britain for this Silverstone race, the home of British motorsport today. And what a track it is, what a layout it is, and we've got 15 of the amateur drivers out there at the moment. In the practice session with 18 minutes left, and in the next half an hour, the rain is going to intensify as well. So tricky conditions for these drivers today. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin, joined in the commentary box by my good friend and co-commentator this evening, Joseph Bates, aka Fury. Joe, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Matt. I'm good. How about yourself, mate?
Very good. Thank you very much. And we're joined as well in the commentary box by our regular pit lane reporter, if you will, and that is PN Motorsport. PN, good evening. Are you well?
Evening, Matt. I'm so sorry, but gloss over that on live. But
We're at Silverstone today, boys. It is a wet race at the minute, and Joe, Silverstone, a track that you have great memories with last season. It's going to be an interesting one tonight.
Yeah, Silverstone's quite one of those. It's like a vast track, isn't it? It's got the fast, and then it goes into the tight, twisty bits, and then back into the fast. I think it's going to be very interesting tonight to watch these Am boys go around in the wet.
It's going to be very fascinating. And PN, obviously, the home of British motorsport. We see a lot of racing around the Silverstone circuit in all kinds of formats. But it's GT3s tonight, wet track. What are we expecting from this Silverstone circuit?
Oh, a few pirouettes, because it's quite slippery out there.
It is very slippery.
To be facing the wrong way, I'm kind of expecting quite a few incidents as well.
Now, PN, you was testing the Thursday night back when we did Zolder, when we reset the lobby for Zolder with myself, Mike and Sooty, I do believe. I said in testing last night that this feels a little like Zolder, where it feels cold and it feels slippery.
Yeah. Might be why I can't get any lap times in at all.
As drivers, I've been struggling in practice all week. Joe, none more than yourself. Alexis looked good in the wet Zandvoort last week. You obviously took a fantastic race win. Congratulations. But it's a different animal at Silverstone at the moment.
Yeah, the Lexus just seems to really be struggling. I can't get it dialed in properly. I don't think I'm too far off of the pace. Obviously, all cars are different at every single track, but obviously Lexus is just one of those ones that's supposed to be good in the wet at every track, but guess this one is not.
Yeah. So, we have a few things to note tonight. Danlick is to start from the back of the grid due to a retirement last week at Zandvoort. He will have to start last place. Shoemaker, due to getting 5 penalty points, has a 3-place grid penalty to his name. In terms of other achievements this week, McLaren win 1 race tonight, whether that's Ben Baff, CV, Kelly, Shoemaker or Danlick, or Leon Fernie, who had a fantastic race last time out. That will be McLaren's 50th race win in the GT3 category. There's no qualifying, which means the McLaren 50th pole will have to wait until Thursday night if it gets a pole position tomorrow night. Ferrari, though, needs 7 podiums, and normally I don't write things down when it's 7 podiums, but with a lot of Ferraris in the grid tonight, and there being 5 races in GT3 now in a week, that 7 podiums could be likely, because we saw last week Ferrari looked a good car, and I think we had 2 on the podium last week. So, no, not last week, the week before. So it could easily, Joe, get closer to that 50th mark by the end of this week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously now that SimPlay is expanding more and more, there's going to be, those stats are going to be flying in for every single car, depending on how many people pick each one, but they just got to keep it clean and try and get those pole positions in and get it to this 50th.
Now, the most successful qualifiers at this circuit, there's 2 of them. There's Andy. Remember Andy back from the Project Cars 2 days in the BMW and Ginetta? He has 2 pole positions to his name here at Silverstone. The other guy is Sooty Apex. Now, Sooty has won 4 races this year in the Pro-Am, all in the wet. So if these conditions, which are here for the week as we know, if they're wet again, could Sooty find himself have the most pole positions here in the wet conditions? In terms of the most race wins at Silverstone, well, one man on tonight's grid has 2 of them. That is Dan on Orthodubs. 2 wins and 1 pole position to his name. The other driver is Max Mulder, who will be out on the circuit tomorrow night. And then the third driver is myself, who can then achieve that. So if Dan wins 1 tonight, if Max wins 1 tomorrow, and if I win 1 on Thursday, we all stay tied, but on 3 race wins. In terms of other drivers who have run a race around here, Sooty Apex, Big Boy Brazier, Welshie, BT Targa, D Biggs, Mike, Peaceful Explosion. You go back to the very first ever SimPlay Motorsport race, Mike Peaceful Explosion won that race in a Mercedes-Benz in a wet Silverstone. Could he do the same here this week? Overtaker, De Silva, Holty, Argent all have a race win to their name. In terms of pole position, Dan, Max have 1 apiece. Fury has a win and a pole position apiece. I missed your name off that list, Fury. Apologies. Fury has a win and a pole to his name. Sooty, obviously, 2 pole positions. Mike and Overtaker with 1. Ben Phelan, Stovesloff, Daniel Francis with 1. There's a blast from the past. Andy with 2. Ukbar, Plava, Shane, Leon Fernie and Bossoff with a pole position to their name as well. The championship standings, though. This is where it's crucial because we've had 7 winners in 7 races in the AM category. Joe Pien, that has been such a good championship, this AM championship, to be a commentator on and be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, 7 race winners in 7 different races is just something that you don't see often at all, considering you look at Pro, Am, and Pro. I mean, in Pro, you got Riffer just dominating it, and then Pro Am, I believe.
No one's dominated race wins, but Louis Allen is currently 28 points clear in the championship, and he's not won a race yet, which is fantastic. But PN, 7 race winners. We've got 21 points separate the top 7 in the championship. That is fantastic between everybody at the moment.
Yeah, it is. It's like 2012 F1 season when we had, what, 8
Yeah,
winners? In
8 yeah,
rounds?
yeah.
Including Pastor Maldonado. That was the biggest shock that year.
Yeah, could we get a Pastor Maldonado winning tonight? That'll be the question. In terms of the championship standings, then 75 points left to play with, and it looks a little like this. Oh, excuse me. Tech Leader is your new championship leader, and he leads by 1 point over JP, who is currently second. Emo Guy puts himself into P3 at the moment, with Future Revenge down in 4th place in his Bentley. Baraba's just behind him in his Bentley then, and the Bentleys don't look to be going so well at the moment. Ant, he's back this week. He is currently P6, with Ginger Bush not here this week in P7. John Andrews is then in P8. Danlick, who has to start from the back of the grid today, he's down in P9, with Ben Bath, who missed the first 3 races, if you remember. He was in Mexico on holiday. He's been climbing the grid with a race win to his name. He's currently P10. Sharkbait is then P11. A few poor races in a row for him has demoted him, with KLF P12. Struggling to find his feet at the moment. Obviously, the weather causing a bit of mayhem. Leon Fernie, after a fantastic second place last week, finds himself P13, with Shoemaker in that P14 spot. OCEM2R is not here this week. He's accumulated too many penalty points and has a full week's ban. And because of that, he has to miss this week. He's currently P15. Unorthodox is P16. Before Checo Bress is P17. Hitman P18. CV is P19. And Lee Hendy in P20. Unorthodox, Checo Bress, Hitman, CV and Lee Hendy cannot win the championship. And after tonight, depending on who scores what points, neither will Shoemaker, Leon Fernie, KLF or Sharkbait. Now, we can crown our first champion or teams champions of the season. Due to MTS dropping out, the Cartel Sim Racing team have been a one-man team of Danlick, unfortunately, which means for them, they've lost a lot of points. The Flying Potatoes lead 188 points clear of the Cartel Sim Racing team. There is 144 points up for grabs. There's a 114-point difference, which means for the Flying Potatoes, Joe, you could be on commentary, and it's a magical feeling when you get to crown your first champion. You could be crowning your first team's champions of the season.
Yeah, I mean, just being able to be crowned the champion is just one of the best feelings you can get in sim racing.
Now you're obviously
winning a race.
You're obviously a Constructors winner from last season yourself, and you've won previous Constructors Championship back in Season 3 of Project Cars in Pro Am with Argent. You've won multiple Constructors Championships. It doesn't matter whether it's a drivers or a Constructors, still feels good.
Yeah, obviously, Constructors is more of a team effort, so it's just that better feeling. But obviously, then coming along to win a drivers' championship is just, you feel really good about yourself, and just being able to know that, you know, you've won something, you've won a trophy. And
the big thing today is Jay and Ben Bath will get, if they do win it tonight, will get to put their names alongside some of the legendary teams at SimPlay Motorsport and some of the legendary drivers that done it. If we're talking just the GT3 teams, you've got the FU Racing Boys of Fury and Dan, AH of Argent and Halty, Jaeger Motorsport of myself and Gary, the SRL Racing team of Max and Leon Fernie, Pick a Mix Motorsport of Smithy and Little Each, Jaeger Motorsport of me and Gary again. Then you've got Shake and Bake, me and Smithy. Sweet and Sour was, Shake and Bake of Dan and D Biggs. Sweet and Sour was me and Smithy. Shake and Bake again, Dan and D Biggs. Shake and Bake, Dan and D Biggs. Forever Forward Season 3, that was you and Argent. Forever Forward of Argent and Rabbit Joe. The Leachy Boys of Craig and Gary. MC Motorsport of Washington South and Craig and Gary. And they get to add themselves to these drivers. This includes Formula 1. So Gary's a 6-time Constructors champion with 3 different teams. Myself, a 5-time champion with 3 different teams. As is Dan, 5 times with 3 teams. Kieran Argent is a 4-time Constructors winner with 2 different teams. Because he was called something different, I believe. Yes, AH Motorsport last season instead of the Forever Forward stable. D Biggs has won 3 with 1 team. Little Each won 3 with 2. Fury's won 2 championships with 2 different teams. Smithy is 2 with 2 teams. Welsh is 1 with 1. Stealth 1 with 1, as is Monkey, Rabbit Joe, Keegs, Max Mulder, Leon Fernie and Halty, all 1 and 1. But it's that Drivers' Championship that that is very, very tight. It's really up for grabs at the minute. And 21 points, as we just said, separating the top 7. I think I said to you, Joe, the other day, actually, that we go to the last race, and with Ginger Bush missing this week, we could go to the last race with 6 drivers still viable to win the championship. PN, that is remarkable.
Yeah, can we have a photo of them all sitting on the wall like we did for F1 when we had that?
Yes, that'd be actually quite nice. It's been a good season though, PM.
Yeah, Am's been really popular. It's been a good call to throw it together at the last minute. Let's face it, it was last minute.
Yeah,
But
really.
yeah, it's been absolutely worth running.
And we have to nod the way SimGrid was used, because we had Pro Am, spots was filled, but then SimGrid really sort of lifted to get these 20 drivers in for an amateur class.
Yeah, I think it also helps with probably much for last PS4. Well,
Yeah.
well, a lot running the PS4 version of the game.
Now, one thing we do have to talk about, Joe, is we got a calendar released today. Myself and the admins, which is PM Motorsport, Unorthodox, and Mike Matthews, spoke about what 10 tracks we'd like to see next season. We kept these close to our chest. We didn't reveal them. We then put them in the random wheel of names generator, which, if you don't know what that does, you basically click the wheel, it spins, it stops, it'll then remove a name. So this, Joe, Season 3 calendar, I read it out to you before you say any tracks, and this is for PN as well. What do you think to the calendar, Joe, first?
I think it's a vast majority of tracks. You've got the fast ones, you've got the slow ones, but in all honesty, I think it's a really good season, if not the best season we've had track-wise.
PM?
Well, I quite like it because there's 3 of the circuits that I can't stand not on there. So...
Well, there we go. And also, we used to say back on Project Cars 2 that Daytona was like the home of SimPlay. It was the Monaco of SimPlay Motorsport, the night race at Daytona. We've got the track that we kind of named one of the straights on, Joe, next season, at the midway point as well, which is Brilliant Sea.
Yeah, always gotta always bring the SimPlay straight back, haven't we? It's just must have.
We'll have to take a marker pen with us in August, and every time we see a track map, just write SimPlay straight on the boards around the circuit. For those of you, I'm sure I could get Ben Baff to let me get away with it. Who's just gone quickest in the session. For those of you who don't know what we're on about, well, the SimPlay Straight is that what used to be the Dunlop Straight at Donington Park, which, yes, makes its debut on ACC on the calendar. Here's a fun fact for you. I've never raced Donington Park in the GT3s because the 2 times we did it on Project Cars, I was commentating. So there we go. ACC calendar Season 3, though, looks like this. Kyle Army starts the season off the South African circuit. Now, this calendar is provisional. There will be night races. We believe it is in our suggestion box to talk about in the annual meeting at the end of the season. I think we like a night race, Joe. We've always done a night race at SimPlay. One will probably come back, I'd imagine.
Yeah, obviously back in the Project Cars 2 days, going back a while now, there was always a night race, and I'm pretty sure the main one that was always a night race was Daytona. Daytona,
of course. So Kyle Army starts the season off on the 3rd, 4th and 5th of October. We then head to Italy, to the Temple of Speed, Monza, for the 10th, 11th and 12th of October. Imola is race 3 on the 17th, 18th, 19th of October before the Hungaroring makes a second return. 24th, 25th and 26th of October. Donington Park then, the 31st, 1st and 2nd of October and November. Marks a halfway mark of the season before we go to the mountain down under. That's right, Bathurst, 7th, 8th and 9th of October. Laguna Seca makes a second appearance in a row at round 7 at the 14th, 15th and 16th of November before Suzuka, not Sakito, the full Suzuka circuit, makes an appearance. The real one, exactly. Makes a great appearance on the 21st, 22nd and 23rd of November. The Nürburgring is the 9th race of the 9th track of the season, 28th, 29th and 30th of November before we finish, like we did at Season 1, and you pointed this out in the admin chat earlier, PN, at Misano, which coincidentally I will miss again because of work reasons. That is the 5th, 6th and 7th of December, so pretty much like Season 1. I missed the last race of the season. Also, we'll be commentating Am on my birthday on the 5th, so whoever's commentating next season Am with me, could be a fun night. That's the calendar. I think it looks an absolutely cracking one.
It is an absolutely cracking track calendar for next season, and I've got good memories around Mazzano, Matt. And I think you know what I'm hinting at.
Yeah. Sadly, I wasn't there to stop you because, work. And I won't be there to stop you that time because of the same work. So We'll see where we are next season. We'll see where we are.
I stopped myself.
Yeah.
Really, did I?
But you know, we're bringing back Monza, brilliant circuit. You know, it's a classic. Nürburgring, fantastic track as well, very historic. Imola comes to the calendar now. Imola's a favourite amongst drivers.
Yeah, see, Imola is one of those tracks where I feel like it's like a personal preference. Like you can like it, you can hate it. For me personally, I don't really like it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well said. Thank you. Cheers, Joe.
Hey, you're welcome, but I still race it.
But we have Bathurst, we have Suzuka obviously making their debuts on ACC. The last time we've seen the proper Suzuka circuit, Pierre, would have been Formula One. So we get to see it now, not Sakito, not the knockoff version. We get to see it. Yeah, F2 as well, sorry. But we get to see it now in a proper GT environment.
Yeah, and in the F2s, who got pole position for their feature race there?
You did.
This guy right here.
Your only pole position at SimPlay Motorsport.
Yeah. Me.
So then, that is how it is at the moment. That is the calendar. And like we say, that calendar will not change in terms of the dates, but the only thing that will change will be the fact that some races may be night races. Evening, though, to Daniel Facina in the chat, Micro J's. Benedict Varga, our Pro-Am commentator, will be with us back again at Laguna Seca next week. James Smith, welcome to the channel, buddy. And Mother Davis in the chat as well. Micro J's, nice, varied calendar there. We have other news to bring you, but we're not going to announce it just yet. It's not fully confirmed. The details haven't been sorted out yet.
Is it what I think it is?
It is what you think it is, but there could be a certain Italian series coming in the off-season, which is obviously only 3 weeks away until the off-season, Joe, and it could be a little cheeky season in the middle.
You know how I feel about those cars, and honestly, it might be a little bit of a cheeky season, but honestly, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting.
And that may be brought to you by myself and Pierre again. The final things haven't been discussed yet, so we've just got to hold off at the moment. In terms of one championship we haven't done because you kind of forget it's there at this point of the season is the Manufacturers' Championship. McLaren have won the championship. Shock. Bentley is second. They've pretty much confirmed that. A bit less of a shock. Ferrari P3 at the moment, they have started to pull a gap over Lexus, but with Lexus having a good result from Joe and from Shane and Bryn in recent weeks, it started to pull points ahead of the Porsche. Honda in P6 after Mike got its 50th podium last week in the Pro Series. Aston Martin a 7th before Audi 8th, BM 9th, Mercedes 10th, Nissan P11. The Retia is 12th, the Lamborghini is 13th, the Jaguar is 14th place. Good evening for his granddad and for Louis Allen, who says, who's excited for the new calendar? Let's hear from you in the chat then, whether you're a fan or a driver. Out of that new calendar, what excites you all the most? PN, whether you're racing or commentating or whatever you're doing next season, what is the track that stands out to you for next season?
Bathurst.
Joe?
Damn it, PN, I was going to say that. Yeah,
you can.
Bathurst.
Yeah. Okay. Bathurst there. It's pretty obvious what I'm going to say.
Donny.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah,
I was
100%.
gonna say Suzuka for you.
No, I can't stand Suzuka. Can't stand Suzuka. It's Donington Park. Of course it is. Pete Haynes got it. It's Donington Park. UMVDM says Bathurst Suzuka, love heart. Benedict Varga, he said thanks for keeping hungry, so I'm sure that's the track he's most looking forward to. But he is Hungarian, so that makes a lot of sense. He gets to race his home circuit for once on a GT3 game. Bathurst, that's the one for Micro J's, and it'll be great to see Micro J's. Who
I can't show what Shane just said in the chat.
PS5 is Micro J's, isn't it?
Yeah, he's PS5.
So could we see him in the off-season event? Audio Sport loving the new calendar. Now, I reckon I know what track Kelly's loving more than anything. I know he enjoys Bathurst. I think Kelly is really looking forward to Suzuka. I know in the past he's always said he likes Suzuka. Emo Guy, I think I know what series he's coming, and if I'm right, it's going to be a blast. Ah. Wow.
Well, it's all
Does he?
I mean, a little Italian number.
I'm not going into any detail. Well, actually, Yes, it is a little Italian number, but which
And you
one?
gotta choose-
That is the
you gotta
exactly.
choose
That is the
between three
question.
of the PS9 version.
That is the question of which little Italian number it could be. 3.
There's 2 years worth of Super Trofeo and there's the Ferrari.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, either way, Benedict Varga, Bathurst, of course, Suzuka, Mizano, and Hungaroring for home soil. Right then, we're about to get ready for this race. It's formation lap, as Audio Sports says correct. I knew that would be right. While I am just going to untangle my headphones a second. PN, give us a race winner.
Ooh, who should I curse? Again.
Who are you going?
No. That was Fury who said Dan. I'm not going to say Dan. I'm going to probably go with Sharkbait.
Joe?
Oh, I don't... see, I know what the wretch is capable of in the straights, and there's 2 really big straights on this track. But there's just so many tight, twisty sections as well where I think he's really going to struggle. So I'm going to have to go for JP. I know he starts towards the back, but in these wet conditions, if he keeps it pinned and constant, consistent laps, he should be okay.
I'm going to go Ben Buff. Is my vote. For those who haven't voted in the chat, the poll is sloping. Get your votes in now. And it's currently JP who does lead the way from Sharkbait. Ben Bath second place, and Emo Guy tied with Sharkbait on 16%. Bathurst is going to be crazy, says Louis Allen, as we have 10 seconds before the lights go green. We'll go through this grid order in just a few moments' time for you as well. Before we head to... I can't see there being rain next week in California. For some reason, Laguna for me is going to be a big dry race, in my opinion. Right, so it should be CV on pole position. He is in place already. Behind him should be the Retia of an Orthodubs in his nice Mazda colours. I will admit, them colours in Dan's car is very, very nice. Behind Unorthodox should then be Leon Fernie. He is now currently coming through the order and has to slot in behind Dan and Kelly. He's currently slotted in behind Sharkbait. So Leon needs to get himself into P3. CV needs to kind of slow... Well, I mean, he's got time to slow down and back the pack up. But it's Dan who's currently back in the pack up. And, well, CV needs to make sure he keeps slow. Leon Fernie then has to move up 2 places here. So while we await for Leon Fernie, Kelly's in the right place. Sharkbait is in the right place. Behind Leon Fernie should be Ben Bath. He's in the correct place. Then Shoemaker, yes. Then John Andrews, yes. Ant, yes. Emo Guy is in the wrong place, I believe. Waiting for the camera to pan around. Right. Leon Fernie is still not pulling out at the moment. So behind Ant. So where's Ant on my list? Ant is there. Behind Ant should be Baraba. So Emo Guy needs to slow down a little bit here so that Baraba can get past Emo Guy. CV has just gone here. Hopefully he backs the pack up because that could be investigated. So Baraba and Future Revenge need to get past Emo Guy. Emo Guy is in the wrong position. After Emo Guy, it should then be Jay, Tech Leader, and then Dan Lick at the back, which it is. So Emo Guy needs to slow down. And Leon Fernie needs to get in position as well. So it's currently Leon Fernie who's in now position, yeah. And then Emo Guy needs to let Baraba and Future Revenge through, which he has done now. So I believe he's been told. So now it's down to CV to start to back the pack up. We had this earlier in the season. DJ Phil put one in, if you remember, Piano, as a steward result, saying that Dean and Max Mulder didn't back the pack up when actually it was Phil riding on his brakes. So is this Dan preparing his tyres and he's going to catch him a bit later? Or is this CV pulling away? I think it's CV pulling away more than anything.
CV's backed it up now.
Yeah, he's backed it up right now. So Joe's gone with Tech Leader. PN has gone with Sharkbait. I have gone with Ben Bath. Who will be the race winner tonight? You can get your votes in as well. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see here, and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. Myself and Dan Davis live on Wednesday night, as there will be no Ben this week. Apologies, I've got a really itchy ankle at the moment. That'll be Pro-Am. Alton Park, if you're wondering where Alton Park was, actually last Sunday, or the Sunday just gone, due to train delays, I was very late home, and it was a bit late to eat my dinner, get prepared, and get the stream ready to go. So that got pushed back to next week, where myself and Pen will be live for that one. So don't worry, Porsche Cup will be back. I know someone who was very disappointed about that. As Dan, actually, at Brooklands and Luffield, they just went ahead of CV. Now, CV controls the pace. CV will control everything away here.
There's a big gap between Future Revenge and...
Yeah, Baraba and the car in front. Yeah, Baraba and the car in front have not... Baraba's not caught the car in front. Either way, we're coming to Woodcote now. And for round 8 of the season, the rain will intensify in the next half an hour. The pack, I don't think this could maybe cause less mayhem at Copse Corner because of the fact the start line is going to be further towards Copse. Race start initialised. We are green and go, and they're starting apex of Copse. Dan's already gone around the outside of then CV. KLF is side by side with Leon Fernie. Kelly's got the inside line coming in towards Maggots and Beckett's. Leon and Kelly just bump a little bit and bump some more, and they both take to the grass a little bit there, but Kelly manages to get through. What's happened to John Andrews, Joe?
It looked like he got a little tap from someone, and he managed to just slide off into
it looks like
path of 2 Ferraris.
That looks like JP. And was it Ant or was it Tech Leader? Oh, that's Shoemaker. Off and in the wall, and what's happening a bit further back as they all start to come through. So it's Dan from CV, Kelly, Leon Fernie, Sharkbait still looking up the inside of Leon Fernie into Woodcote there, into Stowe there. Wow, call yourself a professional. As he now is going to look up the inside, down the Vale straight in towards Club Corner. Here comes Benbath on the outside. Can he get it done for the second part of Club? No, he can't, but Leon Fernie hanging on in there over Sharkbait at the moment. And that looks a good move, and Sharkbait's round, although lag has put him into Benbath. And Benbath is now well off. Your championship leaders up to 7th. Benbath now rejoins. There's a lot of cars going wide, taking the track limits on the exit. Sharkbait now rejoins. John Andrews not a million miles behind. Sharkbait up the inside of Leon Fernie. Does he get that move done as they come through farm? I believe they're still side by side. Now it's done in towards Village. And Leon Fernie having a look there. That is Jay and Emo Guy, as Jay gives Emo Guy a little tap up the rear now. Now into the loop. Jay's going to look up the inside of Emo. And that could be moved on. In fact, he's got Leon Fernie as well. Great run as they come in towards the flat left of Aintree. Bit of a lift maybe in the rain. And Joe, great move on Emo and Leon Fernie there.
Yeah, that was just textbook. He must have got that from Sutty, because that was a little bit of a send it on Emo Guy.
Indeed it was. Back down the order, Future Revenge side by side with Baraba. The two Bentleys trying to go at it. Danlick, Shoemaker and Sharkbait, and John Andrews not had the best of first laps. And to say Jay was involved in that incident at Maggots and Beckett's, he's done well to be back up into 5th place at the moment. But it's Emo Guy now coming towards Woodcote, having a look on the back of Leon Fernie. The two Scottish drivers side by side. Emo Guy well over the curb there, and he's now gone around the outside off the track. Tap. You can't overtake it, Cobbs, says Christian Horner. Well, they've managed to go side by side and get through it.
Barely.
Well, exactly.
Barely. Oh, here comes Benbath.
Yeah, I'd say. I think he's going to make this 3 wide. Leon tucks behind Emo Guy. Emo Guy has the job done. And Benbath lives to fight another day. Out front, though, it's Dan on Orphodubs, who leads from CV with KLF not a million miles away. It's Dan looking for back-to-back wins as here comes Jay on Tech Leader. Great run through Chapel, down the hanger straight. Jay's gone to the outside line. That bit of damage, you feel, could just be slowing him down. The drag down the hanger straight towards Stowe they come. And Jay's going to try and look around the outside of Tech Leader at the moment. Can't get it done there, Joe. It's a great opener to this race.
This is absolutely cracking racing from every driver. Despite the few incidents, it's still good racing already.
It's been fantastic battles up and down the grid in this one all season long, and we're looking for our 8th winner. CV and Kelly could be that 8th winner in 8 races as Dan leads. There's Dan, there's CV, there's Kelly. Tech and Jay are gaining on Kelly as Benbath pulls out down the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight on Emo Guy in towards Abbey. They go side by side. Emo gives him plenty of room. What's happened?
Coming through the tight right-hander, Shoemaker just must have got on the curb a little bit or went wide and just went completely sideways heading towards the old pit wall. But oh my god, the fact he saved that is absolutely amazing.
Through the link. Through the link towards Aintree. Tech Leader still ahead of Jay, but he's on the back of KLF now. So Kelly, we've said one of the hardest defenders in SimPlay history, has got all of a sudden the two McLarens on the back of him. And you feel here that Tech Leader and Jay are carrying such pace. Jay, even with that damage, looks rapid at the moment.
Yeah, Jay was on the inside of Tech Leader coming down the Wellington Straight, but then he must have just backed out of it.
So through Brooklands and Lovefield comes Tech Leader Kelly and Jay in towards Woodcote, out of Woodcote now, down the start-finish straight and in towards Copse. And Tech Leader is looking on the back of Kelly, and with this rain intensifying, Jay's got an almighty run on Tech Leader, and that's a great run in towards Magus and Beckett's. He's not quite alongside Kelly. Tech Leader does not want any of that. Oh, great move, Jay! What an absolute stellar move from JP there, who has absolutely set Kelly up an absolute peach and gets it on Fury.
I'm in shock over that move. That was absolutely amazing from
Shoemaker
JP right there.
Has had to go into the pits early, so he is in the pit lane straight away. Kelly looking back up the inside at Stowe, but it's a tighter line that you don't really need to take, especially in the wet. Kelly's had a wiggle though, or was that a tap from Tech Leader? Either way, Kelly's now lost out to Tech Leader.
Oh, he's back up the inside. He sent it.
Yeah, and he's gone very, very deep himself, and now has lost back out to Tech Leader. A Shoemaker in the pits. They come towards the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight once again. So as we come towards Sector 2 now, you feel that Dan, 1.6 head of CV. CV's had a good race in only his second appearance here at SimPlay Motorsport. Hasn't been dropped by Dan in the ret here at the moment, but Dan, with all his race wins and all his podiums and all his championships, you feel in this one could be helpless if Jay and Tech Leader get through.
Yeah, that ret here just seems to be super slidey through the corners. I could be wrong, but I mean, it's got the straight line speed, so it can make up for the time he's losing through the corners in the straights, but if he makes one little mistake, it could be over for Dan on this podium. Pole.
And as we drop down the back then, Leon Fernie, drop down towards the mid-pack. Leon Fernie at the moment, 8th place so far. He's got the two Bentleys of Baraba and Future Revenge right behind. And in fact, here comes Baraba. He's having a cheeky look, pulls back in. Future Revenge now thinks about having a look, pulls back in. Baraba's now going to have a look once again on Leon Fernie.
He's wide and JP's locked through the inside and coming into the last corner. And out that last corner, JP is up his inside and he is now hunting down Dan.
So JP is through on then CV. CV still within half second. The gap to Dan and JP is 2.5 seconds. Can JP get this gap close down to unorthodox? Because he's flying at the moment. And he looks like he's got a bit of damage to the front of his Ferrari here. But he is still flying at the minute.
I think in the wet, damage helps the cars. Not a lot, just a little bit, but I think it helps them.
Oh, there's a yellow flag. That is car 98. So that's CV's had a moment. Oh, he's running so well. So that puts Tech Leader up to 3rd. Emo Guy and Kelly up to 4th and 5th. Emo Guy's on the back of KLF. And Ben Baff is with them both. Down the hangar straight they come.
Just cut across the grass coming out of Maggots and Beckett's.
Oh, interesting to see if that one goes in then. I'll give him a 100%. I'll give him a warning. Kelly looks like he's a little slower through Stowe there. He looked like he had the back end out a little bit. That's held Emo Guy up. And Ben Bass trying to follow Kelly through. He's earlier on the brakes, so he's trying to follow KLF. Will he be up the inside of Emo? Yes, he will. He'll be on the outside, though, of the second Porter Club, as Emo will have that inside line. Ben Baff all over the curb. He's got nowhere else to go through the corner. Emo Guy back through. Cracking little scrap. Ooh. And, guys, Jay is already within 1.5 seconds.
Jay is absolutely flying. I was going to suggest it, but we were obviously on the Ben Baff battle. And where is Ben Baff? He's still right on the back of Emo. I wonder if he's going to...
Oh!
He's going... Oh, no.
Don't know what's happened through the first part, Joe. Sorry. But Jay is now right on the back of Unorthodox. He's probably going to lose out down the Wellington straight here. That ret here is just quick in a straight line. But there's Tech Leader in the background. Where's Kelly going to emerge from? There's Kelly. There's Emo. Didn't quite see Ben Baff as the camera went round. There he is. Then there's CV. But Jay is right on the back of Dan for this race lead. We'll just go back now to Emo Guy. Ben's not close enough, so we'll go back to Tech. In fact, in the background, Future Revenge looked like he was side by side with Baraba here. As the camera pans out, Future Revenge has got it done. Yep, it's a good move there for Ben Future Revenge.
And Jay trying to come back at him though. No, he's backed out of that one.
Right. So he's backed out to that. Down the start straight. Dan's got his lights on. Jay looking towards Cop's corner. Jay is flying in this race at the minute, Joe, and he's right on the back of the Retty now. Oh, Dan went a little wide through Copse. Jay now has a look. In fact, he's gave Dan a cheeky flash over the lights there as Shoemaker a lap down nearly just in front of these two. So he's obviously repaired his damage. Jay is almighty through Maggots and Beckett's.
You can see Jay just tapping the brakes to make sure he just doesn't hit Dan because of how slow Dan is. That Rettier is really struggling through the corners, but it comes to the straight and he's just gone. But now you've got Tech Leader coming into the picture, and you got
but look at Dan go.
Be a free weight. Yeah.
Look at how much Dan has pulled away down the hanger straight. That is absolutely ridiculous. One thing though, lads, Kelly, Dan's dad, one of the best defenders at SimPlay Motorsport. Can his son replicate it? He's got a hard job in that Rettier, but he knows he's got the straight line speed.
The inside of Emo. Oh no, he's
going to be the outside for if he gets it round the outside though, he can have that nose up the inside for the second part. No, he doesn't get it. Baraba's got Danlick gaining on the back of him. They're not close enough at the minute. Future Revenge has lost out to Danlick and has Ant behind him, but back to the front. Jay's passed, right, so we've missed Jay pass. We're going to stick with Emo Guy and Benbaff here.
Oh, Dan, he's lost it
on his own.
Oh, on his own, yeah.
Right, so Tech Leader goes through. Kelly's not a million miles away. We'll go back to the Emo Guy and Benbaff battle. It's Tech Leader and Jay. I said Ferrari only needs 7 podiums. Well, they could have 2 of them at the moment. McLaren don't look like they're going to get their 50th race win tonight. But I tell you what, Emo Guy's under immense pressure. Because this Emo Guy Benbaff battle is ebbing and flowing. Because 1 minute Emo Guy's on the back of Kelly. The next minute, he's not on the back of Kelly and he's got Benbaff attacking him. As Emo Guy now looks on Kelly. Can't get it done into Brooklands.
That was going to be a daring move up onto the inside.
So Dan just in front of these three. We'll be looking to get Rettier its second podium, but not only that, Dan will be looking to get podium number 129 as he fastly approaches that 130 mark. He's going to want to get Rettier its second podium, but at the minute, you just feel that Dan is possibly struggling. And was that Dan just a lapse of concentration that made him have the spin, or is he really, do we just think that struck the Rettier doing Rettier things?
I think
it's the Rettier doing Rettier things, but then you know what Dan's like. He likes to drive the absolute living hell out of every single car he drives, and I think
wants
he
to
just
get the
pushed
best out of
Rettier too much.
Right.
Into the corner.
Further down the order, looks like Ant has just got past Danlick because he was close to him. He's now past him, so Ant up to the top 10. Future Revenge on the back of them. And if you go back towards KLF, look, once again, Kelly seems to have a good first sector over Emo Guy. It's the last sector where Emo Guy seems to catch Kelly, because through the corners, Kelly seems to be doing all right. And it's Maggots and Beckett's. Look at how close Ben gets to the back of the Nissan. So it must be that Nissan straight line speed that is helping Emo Guy stay in front of Ben and stay to the back of Kelly. Ben just can't get past Emo, and Emo can't get close enough to Kelly. He goes a little deep into the first part of club. That's affected his run through the second part. Benbaff's got to look up the inside. He's just got a front end in there. Possibly a little lift there from Benbaff. Kelly's catching Dan once again. And here
had a
comes
wiggle out of that corner.
CV!
To the wall!
Just seen that there. CV's bounced off the wall. So that is not what he would have wanted. And Ben now really on the back of Emo Guy, trying to put him under pressure. Is he going to look for the switchback through Village? They go in towards the link.
The link's the best one, I think, to get the cut back on. But then again, you also want the outside to get into the next corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Towards the Wellington straight.
And I think that's going to be put to bed, because that power of the Nissan down the straight line is going to put Emo back onto Kelly. And it's this section where Emo just seems to pull ahead from Ben that little bit and just stay in front of Kelly. Although he has a look on Kelly. Dan's behind them. You're right, PM. What has happened to Dan? As Ben taps Emo, they go round. Kelly got bumped after that as well.
Dan's hit the wall somewhere on the Wellington straight, I think, because he has got his front bumper has got huge damage.
Oh yeah, that is going to be
a gap. Oh,
he's struggling. He is struggling. He is struggling in that car
as well.
Not too sure, but Ant is up the inside out the exit to Luffield onto Baraba, and Ant looks like he's got the job done on Baraba. So Ant, after a first lap spin with Jay, is now making his way through the field. He's now up to P9, and he's now on the back of Leon Fernie as well. Future Revenge is on the back as we say that. Baraba looks to come back through Corps. Does he get it done? Jay's gone a little, Ant's gone a little wide. Leon was a little wide. Where's Baraba? Well. There is Baraba, and backs out.
The one we did miss, Matt, is Danlick on Future Revenge. At some point through the lap, he's got past him.
Yeah, he has as well. So Danlick's done Future Revenge at some point there. So your running order at the moment is JP from Tech Leader. KLF is on the podium. Ben Bass looking to the outside of Stowe. Is he going to get that switch back? No, he's going to try and keep it there. Goes to the outside once again as they come down Vale towards Club. Interesting battle between Ben and Emo Guy. Nothing they can do. So Ben 4th, Emo 5th. Dan's down in 6th. He's got a bit of a gap back to CV, who's carrying Dowridge as is Dan. Big gap then back to Leon Fernie, who's down in 8th place at the moment. With Ant Baraba, Danlick, Future Revenge all behind him. Then it's Sharkbait. Then it's John Andrews and Shoemaker, who is just gone a lap down.
Yeah. It was coming out of Stowe, I think. He pulled out of the way for JP, and then that's when JP lapped him.
Louis Allen in the chat says, what a race, lads. What a race indeed. Now, Ben Bath through the last timing screen got ahead of Emo Guy, but has lost it again. Because Emo Guy now goes...
Quite a hefty gap as well.
He has. And Emo Guy's lost a lot of time to Kelly here. There's Dan in the background. You just see very wide. CV struggling as well. Back to Leon Fernie, though, with Ant Baraba. Danlick right over the back of them. Future Revenge here as well. This is a cracking scrap. Great run, Future Revenge through Aintree. Pulls that to the inside. What will be for Brooklyn's down the Wellington straight. Louis Allen says, what a race. What a race indeed. Future Revenge up the inside of Danlick. Can't get it done. Just didn't have the momentum. Leon Fernie has Ant looking up the inside at Luffield and closes the door firmly shut as Emo now once again gaining back within that second of Kelly.
I see Benny in YouTube chats channeling his inner Enzo Ferrari. With aerodynamics as those who can't make an engine.
Kelly, into Maggots and Beckett's. This is where, for me, that Kelly's been stronger than Emo Guy all race at the moment. And Ben's just lost out a bit more. So I wonder if Ben's damage is just hurting him a little bit. Emo sticking with Kelly, though, here. And through Maggots and Beckett's they come. Emo looks closer, Joe, to Kelly than what he has done all race at the moment. Yeah,
Emo's GTR has just got that absolute straight line speed. It's kind of similar to the Retia, but obviously the Nissan just being an absolute boat.
He was so late on the brakes there. Right, Future Revenge on the back of Danlick. Ansel on the back of Leo Fernie. Baraba
wiggle
in the middle. Who did?
Emo Guy, sorry.
Well, he's going to look up the inside of Kelly at Club. No, he's not. Can't get that one done. The camera angle was a bit poor there. Back to Leon Fernie battle with Ant, Baraba, Danlick, Future Revenge. Tell you what, Sharkbait's nearly on the back of this. Sharkbait's nearly on the back of this train of 5 here. So it's an absolute fantastic scrap between all of these. Dan's being caught by CV, but he's not being caught by these guys here. Pit window opens in about a minute and 20 seconds. So Dan's not got long to wait. He's probably got one more lap before he can pit. But it's Jay from Tech Leader from Kelly, who's got Ben Bath now putting pressure back on Emo Guy again. And this is what Kelly needs, Joe, is Ben Bath and Emo Guy to fight so he can start to pull away.
Yeah, I think Emo's kind of in the hot seat right now because obviously he's trying to attack Kelly, but also defend from Ben Bath. So it's going to have to be an absolute stellar drive from Emo if he wants to stay P4. But I think we both know Emo, he's not going to want to stay P4.
And look at this behind us, CV Renner, looking now on the back of an Orthodox whose Retia is broken. And there's the train of 5, nearly 6 cars behind, but CV's not close enough at the moment. Emo Guy still has Ben Bath right behind him.
Out to have a look. Oh, Leon Fernie cut that one off.
I tell you what, there's a lot of fights happening up and down the grid. Pit window is now open just as Unorthodox passes pit entry. Oh, what a shame for Dan. So then, will anybody come in? Baraba is in. Danlick comes in. Sharkbait doesn't.
Stays
John
out.
Andrew. Oh, John Andrews very wide as he got damage coming through the final couple of corners. As we'll go with Shoemaker at the moment, we wait to see the camera pick up Kelly, because look at Emo Guys right on the back of Kelly. So Baraba and Danlick in. We now hopefully pick up Kelly. There is Kelly. He's got Emo Guy and Ben Bath right with him. And Emo Guy's gone to the outside line, which will be the outside of Stowe. This is as close as he's been to Kelly. This is his best chance he's had on Kelly all race at the moment. And the Nissan goes round the outside, but can Kelly manage to get the corner speed? Look at the McLaren's corner speed as Kelly cuts that one off once again.
You can just see where the cars have their sweet spots. The GTR's got its sweet spot in the straights, and the McLaren's just got it through the corners. You just seen the power that the McLaren had through the corners compared to the GTR.
Yeah. just being able to get its power down so much earlier is fantastic to see. As we drop back to Dan and CV Urena in the background, CV's having a look on Dan. All these drivers will be able to pit this lap, and you'd imagine they are going to try and pit as Kelly's pulled away from Emo once more a little bit, and Ben's now going to look to the outside of Village. Can't get it done, looks to get the cut back underneath for the link. He's got a cut back into the link. Now he breaks a lot earlier than Emo. Emo tucks underneath. Ben couldn't get the power down towards Aintree and just lost a little too much. He braked too heavily. Dan licks out the pits. Baraba's not changed his tyres. Did PN say that? I'm not sure, PN. I didn't hear you.
I did say that. Baraba's not changed his tyres.
Apologies. So Baraba's not changed his tyres. Dan licked John Andrews. Done and out the pits. They've got to pit again. And does J pit? No. Tech? No. Kelly? Well, we'll find out in a minute. We'll also see if Emo Guy and Benbath comes into the pit. What an absolute demon battle this is between these three. It's been fantastic. Kelly is going to box. Benbath comes into the pits as well. Now, CV Urena has dropped Dan by some 4 seconds.
I wonder if Dan's had another mistake.
CV's in.
Dan's coming in.
Got to. No surprise. Dan is in. Leon in. Ant stays out. What about Sharkbait? Surely.
In.
Yeah. Future Revenge.
Stays out.
So it's just now.
What happened to Baraba?
He didn't change his tyres in his pit stop.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he didn't pit. He pitted but didn't change his tyres. That's why he's so far. Never mind.
So
my
apologies. It's all right. Baraba has had an absolute shocker there. He's got to pit again.
The one thing I'm curious about is how many of these guys are going to repair their damage, because Benbath's front of the McLaren just looks absolutely destroyed.
The one thing is he keeps up with Kelly and Emo Guy. One man I don't think will do anything to his damage is JP.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I checked that gap, it was 3.4 seconds. Now it's 5.4, so he's gone.
Oh, he's on another level at the moment today, isn't he? So at the minute, the current order is JP from Tech Leader. That is Shoemaker in the background, a lap down. Emo Guy is third, Anti's fourth. Future Revenge is fifth. Kelly is done and coming out the pits.
Benbath's done. This is closer than it was before, I'm pretty sure.
CV, Dan says in the chat, hit him. So interesting to see. That does look pretty much closer than it was before, although actually Benbath a little slower off the limiter than Kelly. You chuck a Nissan in the middle of that, and that looks pretty much the same gap between Ben and Kelly as what it was. Leon is done. Baraba still in. So CV's now away. Dan's yet to move as well. So JP coming into Brooklands and Luffield. It's going to be interesting to see if JP will pit. Don't forget, if you like what you see here, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when we are live. Subscribe to the channel when we are new. Pro-Am tomorrow night, 8 PM UK time. Pro on Thursday, 8 PM UK time. And Porsche Cup, 8 PM UK time on Sunday as well. You do not want to miss any of the action here at SimPlay Motorsport as the two leaders choose to continue on their way. What does Emo Guy do in reaction to Kelly and Benbath now? Dan done, Leon done, Baraba done, as is Danlick and John Andrews, as well as Benbath, Kelly and Sharkbait. Emo Guy instantly reacts to Kelly and Benbath here. Benbath on the back of KLF now.
From Emo Guy, to be honest, just reacting to them, just try and stick with this fight, because obviously through the corners the McLaren's got the better cornering speed, and they've got pretty decent straight line speed, but the GTR has just got another level. So I think that's a really good call from Emo Guy, to be honest.
Emo Guy, so he's in the pits at the moment. Is he stationary, PN?
Emo is not stationary now.
Right, so Emo is stationary. As you say that, Kelly and Benbath was coming through Aintree, coming through the link. They're now through Aintree. I tell you what, I think the undercut for these two drivers have worked. We are halfway through the race. Kelly currently sixth. Dan now is behind CV, Danlick, Leon Fernie and Sharkbait. So Dan's got work to do down in 12th, but others have got to pit. Future Avengers in Kelly span! He's had a half spin. A half spin for Kelly. So Benbath has got through. Kelly's had a little moment. When does Emo Guy go green? That is the question. Down through Woods, can they come? Here comes Ben and Kelly. He's lost a bit of time, but not too much. I think Kelly should stay ahead of Emo Guy here. As Benbath, right, Emo Guy's green. There goes Benbath. He's gone past him. What about KLF? He is now past him as well. There is Emo Guy in the background. So Kelly and Benbath pitting that undercut has worked a treat. Kelly would be well in front of Emo Guy had he not had that little moment. We now turn our attention to Future Revenge, who's just been dropped. Benbath's through, we know that. Kelly's through, Sharkbait's through, Leon's through, Danlick is through. CV Urena is going to get past Future Revenge as well, is he? Yes.
I think it's going to be close.
He's close, but CV has just done it. Dan a little further back at the moment. Shoemaker yet to pit. Jay is in. Tech leader stays out for one more lap. He's got plenty of time. What does Ant do? What about Shoemaker? Because he's got to pit as well. So Shoemaker, another driver yet to pit. He stays out and carries on his way. So just Ant, Tech leader and Shoemaker to pit. As Paraba has got past Shoemaker. Cracking opening half to the race though, boys.
There have been so many battles, but now it's just all calmed down after the pit stops.
Well, hopefully resume very shortly. Ben Bath clear of Kelly then. Emo trying to get on the back of him. We've got Leon and Danlick resuming their battle in the two McLarens, the blue and red one, nice and colourful. And Ant did not
Tech
pit.
leader
So
Ant has got to pit this lap.
yeah, and Shoemaker.
There won't be enough time for them to come in. Oh yeah, and Shoemaker. My apologies.
So we're currently watching the Leon Fernie Danlick battle. That's the closest battle on track at the moment. So Jay's now away and has only lost out to Ant and Tech Leader at the moment. Tech Leader is currently coming in on the Exeter Club. He's now on the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. Ant is coming into Stowe. And car 15 of Jay is at Maggots and Beckett's. We're currently watching Danlick, though, who's just on the grass. So you don't want to be on the grass in the braking zone of Brooklands. Back to Kelly and Emo Guy. That gap's opened up a little more again. So Kelly doing a good job at the moment. Has he just possibly that spin cost him the podium?
Oh, he's had another one.
Oh no, Kelly.
Ooh. He kept it though. It's
Oh,
okay. He's lost a little momentum. So Emo Guy's gained the time back on him now, but
yeah.
Kelly hopefully will be able to gain it back through Maggots and Beckett's.
And Emo Guy is rapid at the minute down the hanger straight as we saw earlier, but Kelly better through the corner. So hopefully for Kelly here, he can keep this one going. Emo Guy not as close as we've seen him in this race. And with Kelly, actually Kelly's McLaren since the pits looks like it's pulling away from Emo Guy a little bit on the straights.
Did Kelly have damage?
Possibly a little bit. Tech leader's in. Thank you, PM. Our Ted Kravitz of the SimPlay world on an amateur night.
No, not Ted Kravitz. Louise Beckett from the WEC broadcast.
As Tech leader into the pits. What does Ant do? Shoemaker as well comes into the pits then. And with 1 minute 14 left, Ant has got to pit. So where is Ant? He's pitting now. Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to go for the pits.
No, when I saw the camera change, I thought the same thing. Right, so Jay's now at Brooklands and Luffield. Tech leader is stationary.
Jay just seems so quick on the brakes.
Yeah, but it's not doing him any favours though.
No, he catches Kelly into the corner, but out of it, he just loses it again.
Well, he's got good speed through Aintree there, down the Wellington straight. Kelly feels like he's just got to slightly come across a little bit to maybe have a look at defending. Emo Guy's now going to have a full look up the inside into Brooklands. Has he got the job done now?
He goes wide.
No, he's gone very deep, and that's the problem the Nissan is having here. Kelly set that up an absolute peach, I have to say. Kelly knew what was coming and just went, yeah, have the inside, because I'll take it straight back off you. Tech leader away then, says PN Motorsport. So Jay leads.
Jay's
from Tech
got a
leader,
bigger gap from Tech leader.
Huge gap.
It was about 5 seconds before. It's at least 10 now.
Ant is now away. These two have just got past Ant, as they're not going to make moves. Sharpbait has now got past Ant. Leon Fernie has lost out to Danlick this lap. They've got CV Urena on the back of him, and Future of Engine Dan not a million miles away.
This is a three-way fight from 8th down to 10th.
Yeah, and what we see McLarens look a bit dull at times. Is Leon Fernie, that's a line. Keep doing that. That'll give you an automatic drive-through penalty. Because one thing I have to say ACC over Project Cars is that the track. Well held. One thing we have to say. Kelly's forced Emo off the track there. Forced him, and Emo Guy. Well, you forced me off the track. I'm going to keep it up the inside. Job done. Thank you very much. Says Emo Guy.
Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. One thing you have to say is we see a lot of dull-looking McLarens. We've got a bright red, a bright blue, and a nice white McLaren. It's almost like the British flag running in unison on the British track.
CV!
He's well off. He tapped the tyre wall. Future Revenge goes through. Here comes Orthodubs.
I haven't seen the car there since they've had a stage here on the RAC rally.
Didn't an F1 car go off somewhere around there the other year? And I want to say Raikkonen, I think, went off.
I know 99 Schumacher went head on there because his brakes fired.
That's where he broke his leg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One man would know. One man would know. But you don't hear, we never hear from him anymore.
Eddie Irvine.
Yeah.
Went past Eddie.
Right,
No, Eddie
so
Irvine's busy being a lad.
Kelly still stuck on the back of Emo by half a second at the minute. This is the closest fight on track.
I'm going to be honest, I thought CV was about to have it beached when he was trying to join back.
Yeah.
Because there's like a little dip back onto the runoff, and he just stopped there, and I'm thinking to myself, don't stop there, because you won't get going again. You pull a Gary.
While there's I was just about to say, while there's a little lull in the racing, now I was in Switzerland for this, but I've seen the footage of Gary's. Beached on a curb, got Plava to give him a little love tap off it, and instead of a love tap, Plava absolutely nailed him. Shoemaker back in the pits.
Did he put the dries on? I'm now checking.
Possibly so.
He did.
Yes, he did.
There we go. Right, Jay's got 14 second. Yeah, wow. He has gone. 14. He has gone. Ben's only 9 seconds behind Tech Leader. Now, the funny thing here is Ben Baff and Jay and Tech Leader are all a part of the Flying Potatoes racing team. But it's only Ben and Jay scoring points for them. A bit like we've got several drivers in the SimPlay racing team. Ben Baff and Jay are part of the... And Tech Leader are part of the Flying Potatoes racing team. Well, the Flying Potatoes racing team can be Constructors Champions tonight, so we'll hopefully get to speak to Ben Baff, Jay and Tech Leader. Kelly very wide through the exit of club. It's just died down a bit since the pit stops.
Well,
it's everyone going for the different pit strategies, really, isn't it? Because you got Kelly and Ben Baff who went for the undercut on Emo. They both got it done, but then KLF had a little bit of a...
Now, go on.
I'm trying to think what you call it.
Call
something
what?
To do with, like, you know how you got Sotty Send It, then the Duffin Chop. What's the one that you made for Kelly?
There is no Duffin Chop. I don't know. did we make one for Kelly? I don't think we did.
Oh,
did we?
you've been KLF'd or something, isn't it?
That's what Shoemaker said in the party area. You've been KLF'd. Now, I'm not sure what that means. But that is apparently the new one. It's no Duffin Chop. It's the Sooty Send It, the Dan Dive, the Welshie Windmill, the Peaceful Pirouettes.
Fury Flung.
The Wasaki Wind Wipers.
The Wasaki Wipers. Not anymore, though. Max Mulder has them on. Dean doesn't. We're currently watching a battle Dan Link, Leon Fernie and Future Avenger. Just while, again, there's a bit of a lull in the racing at the moment. We're coming to the end of the season. 2 races after this for these guys to go. Chat as well, get involved. Do we enjoy this AM format, or do we think AM, even if it stays to one 45-minute race, do we think AM needs a qualifying?
I think personally, I mean, can I give my input on it?
Yeah, sure.
So, obviously the AM format's great and everything, but I feel like just because they have one race, whereas obviously Pro-Am and Pro have 2, I think it's only fair that AM get, I don't know, personally I would say 2 races.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you the reason.
Minutes.
I'll tell you the reasoning behind the 45-minute race was we didn't have that many sign up to start with, and we'd said in the admin chat.
Future Avengers looking up the inside of Leon Fernie coming in.
He's backed out. He breaks. Future Avengers done that a couple of times, as then has just braked early. I tell you why we did 45 minutes. Is me and PM was going to sit and stream it, commentate on it. But it wouldn't be live. It would be on our personal channels just so that they could have a highlights package. Because there wasn't many drivers signed up. Then SimGrid took over, and the week before AM, loads did. So because the format was already set, we had
full grids now.
That's what I mean. Because the format for AM was set, it was set. You know what I mean? At 45 minutes, no qualifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is plans to change the AM format. What to though is the question. And let us. If you're an AM driver, let us know what it is.
I would say 5 minutes qualifying, but I feel like that's just too short for them. I would say two 10-minute qualifyings and then two 20-minute races.
Fair enough. The admins will obviously talk about it. I believe the admin the AGM meeting. You've got until the Thursday after the last race of the season. So the last race at the Hungaroring for the Pro, it's the Thursday after that where the annual meeting is.
Looking up the inside of Leon Fernie coming out of the Wellington Straight.
But again, look, he's just braked so much earlier. Dan's gaining on these three.
I don't think he trusts the brakes on the Bentley.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder if he's got dry brakes.
Benedict Varga, aka Nexus, and Micro J's in the chat. 2 qualies, 2 races. Benedict Varga saying maybe they could have the same format as Pro and Pram. I suppose one thing that needs to happen is...
That's another thing I've said as well. I've said,
what?
Make everything the same.
Obviously PNU was a part of the discussion for what Am would be. It was obviously a discussion of, because there wasn't many sign-ups, we had a short format, didn't we?
Yeah. And then it just exploded.
It just exploded, yeah.
A few days before we went live for that.
It was like the weekend before Am started, we got like 10 drivers join, and it was like, oh, right, this is happening. And it became a lot more work to do just when we thought, oh, everything's done for the season on the spreadsheet side of things and Discord. No, it wasn't. It was chaos. So J-Tech leader Ben Bath out front, well spaced out. Emo Guy's 4th, he's got a 2nd back to Kelly, but a mistake from Emo Guy could lead to Kelly back through. Sharpbait is currently 6th with Ant in 7th. We're currently watching the Danlick Leon Fernie fight because they've just dropped Future Revenge a little bit.
Oh, Ant's wide.
Ant is wide ahead of these, but he's 10 seconds ahead of these, so I don't think it's going to cost him too much. Ant, good recovery drive from him. Dan down in 11th, though, is gaining on these boys. So what does Dan have to do when he gets on the back of these boys?
Just wait until the straights, I think, innit? In a Retia.
Wow, yeah.
Use the horsepower.
Yeah.
That V10.
I bet he's wishing the Monza was this season in the Retia.
Can't wait to see the Retia down the corkscrew at Laguna Seca next week. That could be fun. Future Revenge here. Apologies, Future Revenge looks like he's got a nose. No, he hasn't. Into Aintree, he's lost out and he's gone very wide on the exit of Aintree. And just as they pulled 4 tenths over Dan, Dan could now slowly start to catch up to him. He's down in 11th, is Dan at the minute. But what? Yeah, look, I have to tip my hat to Jay. Absolute fantastic race from Jay.
He's definitely not fixed his damage.
No, and he didn't need to, did he? Because he's now 16, 17 seconds in front. So, well, game
20
on.
seconds.
20 seconds. Game on in the Flying Potatoes camp. Because Jay will take the championship lead back from Tech Leader here. And it's going to be...
make a mistake?
Must have, because Ben's now 7 seconds behind when that was about 10 earlier. So interesting.
Ben just got that much pace
no, because this
McLaren.
All of a sudden Tech's lost 6 seconds to Jay. Where is Tech Leader? Let's go on to Tech Leader, sorry. So there's Tech.
Coming through the old turn 1.
Yeah, look, there's Ben in the background. Yeah, don't forget, Joe, we're on the opposite circuit. Yeah. There's Ben Bath, you can see Emo Guy, and Kelly. Sharkbait. Sharkbait's had a good recovery. Doesn't look like he's repaired his damage. That car looks like it's got more scrapes on it than a car from the Demolition Derby. Only down the right-hand side, though. The left-hand side looks quite nice. I think Kelly made a mistake through the final part of that lap because Sharkbait was 13 seconds behind Kelly.
He's lost a lot of time to Emo Guy.
Kelly's just gone through, so I think I think Kelly's made a mistake through. I think Kelly's made the mistake through the final couple of through club section, so he's got to be careful now because Sharkbait's not far away. Ant's trying to gain on Sharkbait. Dan's got the gap down 3.3 to the cars in front, so Future Revenge has got to start watching out because Dan is closing. But the interesting thing here, so Jay is a point behind Tech Leader, and it's a 2-point difference for first to second. So, Leon Fernie, bit of a moment through Village, and Future Revenge is through. So Leon has had his own moment and Future Revenge has got past. Now for Leon Fernie, he's got to watch out because Dan's only 3.5 behind. And he's going to gain some down this straight, you'd imagine Dan would. So Dan looking for a top 10 at the moment. So
I think he's going to stay the same.
At the minute,
roughly. Sorry.
Jay would lead the championship by a point from Tech Leader. So they will just swap.
So who's third again? Is it Bemba? No.
It's tech leader who leads the championship.
No, I'm asking what's the gap between second and third?
14, but that is Emo Guy in third place, and he's going to lose even more points. But
Leon sideways.
Yeah, he is a little bit. Dan's only 2.5 behind now, so Dan is coming for these two.
I wonder if Leon Fernie's just struggling now.
I wonder if the track's getting wetter, like the forecast.
It said half an hour the track was going to get wetter, so I think it's possibly, like Pien says, just getting a little bit worse out there.
Oh, Dan's gone straight across Maggots and Beckett's.
Oh, so he's had a moment. He's had a moment.
The camera cut to the exit of Maggots and Beckett's,
Yeah.
and I just seen this Mazda-coloured Retio go flying across the grass.
So Dan was 2 seconds, but it says now Dan is 2 seconds behind, but I reckon he's lost a bit more since that sector time. Leon's trying to get onto the back once again of Future Revenge.
I mean, what do you think when you see a Retio coming at you with such speed compared to everything else?
It's hard, isn't it? You know, I thought this at Paul Ricard when Ripper in his Audi was just hunting me down that back straight. You know, like, what is the difference in speed here? But that Retti's got to be a different ball game. Flying Potatoes, they look like they're going to take this Constructors win tonight. We will get to speak with Jay and Ben on the podiums. That is great to see from them two. Going to be absolutely fantastic to speak with them. Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie just hit the curb a little bit there. Dan's now within 1.6. So 1.6 coming through Aintree. How close will Dan be coming across the start line? So where's car 15?
He's close to in a second with him. That's definitely gone down for 1.6.
Yeah, 100%.
Jay's now in Vale, going into club.
Yeah, so Jay's in Vale. Tech leaders at Stowe. Ben Bath's down the hanger straight. Emo Guy's exiting Maggots Beckett's. Kelly has got Sharkbait hunting him down. Gap was 1.7 Leon Fernie to Dan. 1.6 Leon Fernie to Dan. Gap is now under a second, surely. Yep, 7 tenths. So Dan's took 9 tenths out of him in the last sector. Oh, and Leon very wiggly through cops. So Dan's coming here. As Leon again wide and over the curb there.
I wonder if
Dan
Leon
followed him through.
I wonder if Leon's starting to cook his tyres.
Possibly so.
Or
Is he?
One thing with ACC, you can see what tyres they're on, but you can't see the pressures or how hot or cold they are.
There's a reason for that. It's because of the competitions they have on here and stop stream sniping.
Yeah. Stops other teams from viewing other teams and sort of getting an upper hand on strategy. It kind of makes it a level playing field. Right, so Dan lost a bit of time through sector 1. Yes, 2 tenths he lost. He's probably just found that 2 tenths up, especially now Leon Fernie. It's gone very wide at Stowe. He braked 2 wheels on the grass, and Dan will not, again, need a second invitation for an easier overtake. Dan is up to 10th, and he's only about 3 seconds behind Future Revenge, and there's still time to go, because there's 3 minutes left, and where is Jay? Well, he started another lap, so there could be 2 laps after this to go.
You could say to Dan.
CV Ureno went off in the same place he did a couple of laps ago.
Interesting,
But he's
Pien.
got going again.
Pien?
Dan could say thank you, Mama, for the carrots to Leon, man.
Yeah, a bit too easy though, that one, wasn't it? You've got to thank your mama when it's hard work. That's when you get...
Jay's making a mistake. Coming onto the hanger straight. He was a bit on the grass.
Sharkbait's within 9 tenths of Kelly here. Dan 3.7 to Future Revenge. Future Revenge 3 seconds to Danlick. And Sharkbait just pulled away from Ant a little bit and is starting to get on the back of KLF at the moment. So lap 19. And potentially this lap and 1 more to go. Where is Jay? Well, he's into club. Yeah, so he's into club. So this lap and 1 more. So Kelly's got pretty much 2 laps to hang on to this over Sharkbait. Dan has got 2 laps to pretty much find 3.7 seconds. Although Danlick's actually passed Future Revenge, so he may not have to find 3.7 seconds. He's got to find 5.6. What has happened to Dan? He's lost out to Leon Fernie and some.
As he spin around.
He's made another mistake at somewhere.
He's struggling in that
the exit of Wellington Straight?
No, that's down the hanger straight. Dan would have just been...
He's now coming into Maggots.
Would have been the Wellington Straight. I wonder if he's had another moment then on that exit curve of the Wellington Straight. That's where Dan seemed to have made problems, and that's where he's possibly lost out to Leon Fernie. Kelly's pulled away from Sharkbait a little bit here. Seen a lot of Kelly tonight.
As Matt's pulled his mic out of his controller.
Am I back?
Classic, Matt. Yeah, you're back.
Kelly,
Back.
thank you. Kelly's been in the thick of the action tonight. We've seen a lot of him.
Yeah, Kelly's been having a stellar drive tonight.
Not bad for a sabbatical.
Yeah, not bad for a sabbatical. Not bad. Right, race control have told us that the leader is on the final lap. Keep your eyes out for Jay. He is on the final lap now. We'll keep our eyes on car number 15 on the track map. As Kelly has had a horrible Aintree village and Link. Has a good Aintree, but he's got Sharkbait within half a second now. So Kelly's had a horrible middle sector. He's going to want to rectify that. He'll need a good first sector. He needs one good last lap to hang on for a P5. What is Kelly's best result this season? It is... No, he's not been on the podium because he lost the podium due to pit lane cut, I do believe. It is P5, so Kelly will be matching his best result. Sharkbaits is a win, but we're going to get our first back-to-back winner. Jay hasn't won. Was Spa the second circuit? It was, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So Jay hasn't won since Spa, but we're going to get our first back-to-back winner, and JP is potentially going to take full points. He's coming down.
He's in Abbey.
The hanger straight into Abbey, so he's gone down the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. As we're currently watching this KLF battle, Danlitt's got Future Revenge right behind him. Dan's again on the back of Leon Fernie. So Dan, the best he can get is 10th place.
Sorry, Matt.
Go on.
Danlick has... Oh, Danlick sliding through Maggots and Beckers on the exit. Future Revenge is going to be side by side coming down the hanger straight.
He is indeed.
Still got it. Future Revenge.
You keep your eyes on that one, Joe, and let us know if anything develops. Keep your eyes on that, because we know as Jay comes into Luffield, we're going to crown our first double race winner here in the Amateur League. JP is going to take back the championship lead, we believe, by 1 point, and he's going to win here at Silverstone in fantastic style. Great win for him. Shoemaker down in 15th place, not the race he would have wanted today. It is then going to be Tech Leader, who is going to come home for second place. Great drive for him as well. A fantastic win for Tech, fantastic podium for Tech Leader there. What a race, says Micro Jace from JP. That was the overtake going into Maggots Beckett's fantastic driving. Ben Bath is going to come home for P3. Good there for him. Before we head to Emo Guy, who's going to come home for that P4.
Emo Guy's got P8 signed, sealed.
All right, we'll keep our eyes on that. Kelly has got Sharkbait right on the back of him. Kelly get through Luffield. He has done. I tell you what, Ant isn't a million miles away as well here. So Kelly's going to cross the line P6, Sharkbait P7, and P6, Kelly P5, Ant P7. And then we turn our attention to Danlick. As PN, can you get the drivers in the party, please, for a interview?
We've got Tech Leader already here.
Yeah, and Jay, I think it's just Ben Bath. Danlick is going to come across the line P8. Future 9. Good result for Future Revenge.
At the end.
He did indeed. So Dan only P11. Leon Fernie gets himself P10. Good result for Leon Fernie again. CV Renner backs up his 13th place last week with a 12th this week. Not bad result for him. John Andrews will be next as we've lost Shoemaker from the session. We do urge all drivers stay until the very end. John Andrews is going to come across the line for P13, and Baraba will then cross the line for P14. So that is how they finished. If Tech Leader or Jake and Harrison are in the party, could you add Ben Bath into the lobby, into the party?
I don't think any of them are in here.
None of them are in here. No, so let's try and get Ben Bath in.
Ben Bath 07. Let me see if I can do it.
Believe I have him.
You think you've got to be on his friends list?
I have added him. So he's been added. So let's see what if Ben Bath comes in, as well as Jay and Tech Leader. But it has been fantastic racing all night. We'll get the driver. Jay's already in, I do believe.
Oh, he left it.
Okay. Let's get Jay in as well then.
JP9128.
So we've added Jay. We've added Ben. Hopefully they join us. Right, guys, driver of the day and your final thought.
Driver of the day for me, it's leaning towards Kelly, but I'm going to have to give it to Jay. He had a stellar drive and he had such a huge gap, considering he had a lap 1 incident with John Andrews and I think Tech Leader. I just got to give my driver of the day to JP. He had a cracking race.
PN, your driver of the day?
It should technically be JP whose race wins. I want to give it to Tech Leader. Another podium. Quietly.
Another podium he did.
Go on. And he survived.
He did indeed. I'm going to give mine to Jay as well, because I think Jay was just absolutely fantastic in this race, with damage as well. Hopefully we get Ben in for that P3 spot. So we will start with Tech Leader at the moment. In fact, Ben has just joined us. So we will start with Ben, who, Ben, we haven't spoke to you on the podium this season. Obviously, we couldn't get you in for your race win, but that was an interesting race.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying, but no, we did good. We did good.
Well, we will confirm it now while you and Jay are in here. You are the Constructors' champions against one other team. It doesn't mean as much because there's not a lot of other teams to battle against, but you're champions.
It's great. Well done, Jay.
Get up.
Ben, talk us through your race a little bit, because we saw before the pit stop you had a good fight with Kelly and Emo Guy.
I couldn't get past them. It was great defending by KLF, and then I think Emo Guy was trying to attack, and I got caught up, but managed to undercut at the pit stop.
It was a good race for you. You got Kelly after the pit stop, like you say. He made a little mistake that managed to make it a bit easier for you, and then it was just sort of bring the car home because the other two was too far in front.
Yeah, I think it was the first race I've done without any damage at all.
We go to Laguna Seca next week. What can you do around there? We know you love British circuits very much, and obviously you've picked up some experience from Silverstone at the weekend. So what can you do at Laguna next week?
We'll have to wait and see. It's not one that I've raced on Assetto before, so it'll be interesting.
Well, Ben, well done. Congratulations on your Constructors win. We'll see you next week. As we now speak with Tech Leader at the moment. Tech Leader, second place. Again, a pretty quiet race for yourself, really. You got through a few fights early and then had to watch Jay disappear, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. I just couldn't keep up with him. He just had some serious pace, which was phenomenal. But yeah, I think, like I said in the comments box last week, my tactic was very much keep it calm, work my way through the accidents, and it seemed to work. Seemed to have a bit of empty track to myself, which was nice.
Yeah, obviously you three at Silverstone at the weekend. You must have picked up some tips because you've all come on 1, 2, 3 this weekend. Tonight, sorry.
Yeah, and it was raining as well. So.
Oh, there we go. We move to Laguna Seca next week, though, and that's a different sort of circuit. Probably be absolutely red hot, blistering conditions. Do you think you can go and get another podium there?
I'm certainly going to try. It's all to play for with me and Jay. We may be the flying potatoes, but it's all to play for, that's for sure.
Yeah, gloves are off this season. Tech Leader, well done on your second place tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks very much.
And we speak now with Jay, your race winner, the first driver to take multiple race wins in the Amateur League this season. Jay, first of all, fantastic drive, but it wasn't easy at the start.
No. It's when the lineups keep coming in every week and the boys are going, oh, you're 14th again? Oh, you're 13th again? I'm just like, yeah, just going to go for top 5.
Yeah.
Getting a bit one of those, but it was nice to just get out and just go, I suppose. We didn't have any dramas this week, which, I'll be honest, chasing Emo Guy down, I got a little bit worried in hitting him, but to be fair, we got past him and we got past a few. I don't know who I overtook, but I was just going hell for leather and just having it. But me and Luke was practicing in the week doing a setup, so we got the setup absolutely spot on by the looks of it, and Ben got his setup absolutely spot on, so we'll take it. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly. You had a bit of it looked like a spin at Maggots and Beckett's on the opening lap. Looked like I had damage to the front of your car, but that didn't slow you down at all.
No, it was I think I braked. I hit the curb, and obviously, as you know, if you hit a wet curb, you slide into the back of another car. I think it was Emo guy. I might have tapped, but I just let him go because I'm not going to take him and just from hitting him because you can't do that. But I let him go and managed to get through the pack a bit lively, which was decent. So yeah, decent race, really good race.
Very good race. We go to Laguna Seca though next week. Different kind of circuit, probably red hot. Auto play for Bristol.
I don't think me, Ben or Luke have ever raced even. I don't even think we've even gone onto that circuit, so that would be an interesting one. But it's like anything, you got to put the practice in to get the setup right. So we'll be on in the week trying to get it sorted, and then hopefully we'll get another 1, 2, 3. I doubt it, but we'll have a go. Starting at the back again. Yeah,
you'll have a go indeed. And Constructors Champions with Ben. Obviously, it's a shame there was only the 2 teams this season, but it's
I know
champion nonetheless.
Bit of an empty win, but we'll absolutely take it, mate, all day long.
It goes on the disc.
That we can't get Tech Leader in as well because he's very much part of it. So,
100%.
Go on, Tech. Go on, Ben. Get up.
It'll go on the Discord, and obviously there'll be a nice little poster made up across the social media platforms for your championship win. Well, Jay, fantastic race tonight. We'll see you next week at Laguna. Your current championship standings, obviously these are all provisional results at the moment, look like this. JP leads the championship, 1 point clear of Tech Leader. It's 19 points back to Emo Guy before Future Revenge is P4, 29 points behind. Ant moves up to 5th, 31 off the lead with Baraba 6th. Gingerbush stays 7th. Ben Bath moves into 8th place, 46 point behind. John Andrews, 47 behind. Danlick P10 cannot win the championship anymore. He is out of it. As is Sharpbait on 80 points. KLF's 12th, he's out of it, as is Leon Fernie and Shoemaker. Unorthodox moves up to 15th place ahead of O before Checo Bress, Hitman, CV Urena, and then Lee Hendry. Flying Potatoes have won the Constructors' Championship. They are champions. But it is McLaren who pull away from Bentley. The more important news is Ferrari now only need 5 podiums to take their 50th podium here at SimPlay Motorsport. Fiore, PN, thank you very much for joining me once more.
You're welcome.
And we will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Myself and Dan Davis live in the commentary box for the Silverstone race in the Pro-Am. PN Motorsport will be on the circuit. Joe will be probably sat watching. PN might be on the circuit, apologies, he's down as tentative at the moment. Joe will probably be sat watching, cheering on PN. But me and Joe will be back on the circuit Thursday night. That's where you can see me and Joe take to the track. Porsche Cup back on Sunday as well. So you don't want to miss that one. But we are all done for today. What a race it has been. Jay, the first multiple winner, as we head to California. Bring your swimming shorts because it is going to be hot. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bring your swimming shorts because it is going to be hot. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. And we are clear.
Right, just get down my stream.
What's up? All right.
Going to play some Duel.